Hey everybody, it's Mystic Mama Divine Healing here on Twin Flame Tuesday to do a check-in on the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, what's going on in their external circumstances, what's going on in their shared energy, and a message from the spirit. So let's get started. I realize that I take a little bit of time shuffling and stuff, so I've already shuffled. I picked my decks, I've shuffled them, I have cut them, and I have pulled. The Divine Feminine is over here on the left side. The Divine Masculine is over here. I've kind of switched it because I'm thinking that the Divine Feminine is the one who is awakened first. So we'll do her cards first. I've pulled 4 cards for each of the counterparts. The Divine Feminine, she comes in with the High Priestess as the overall energy. It was at the bottom of the deck. The Divine Masculine is coming in with the 6 of Wands as his overall energy for what's going on in their external circumstances. These messages may resonate with you and they may not. All the messages, you can't have every message isn't going to be resonating with every single person because there are so many different people, so many different couples in the collective. This is a twin flame in separation or facing some serious challenges in their relationship. That's who these messages will be channeled for. I am using the Crystal Visions deck for the Divine Feminine. The I can never remember this, but what is it? Morgan Greer. Why can't I remember that name? But the Morgan Greer deck for the Divine Masculine. I have the Signs of the Spirit, Love Oracles, Twin Flame Messages, and Twin Flame Journey Tarot. Those 3 decks are by Mystic Moon. I have Aquamoonlight, the Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle, the Kipper deck. I love the Kipper deck for the juice, and or the tea, whichever you prefer. And I'm going to get messages from the spirit with the messages from the mermaids. I love the mermaid deck. My Orisha is Yemoja, and she is a mermaid. So therefore, I love to get messages from the mermaid deck. Okay, so let me see if I covered everything. I think I had the messages. The messages could be intersex changeable. Like you could be a Divine Feminine and be actually a male, or a Divine Masculine and be actually a female. It's about energy. It's not about sex. So let's get started. I have pulled 4 overall energy for the feminine in her external circumstances, what's going on in her everyday life, her everyday grind. We had the High Priestess for her. Hope they sit up there. First card pulled was the Judgment card. Okay, so there is karma. There's judgment. The spirit is sitting on high, and that's like the Gabriel or whatever angel this is that blows the horn. I look at these flowers here, kind of the judgment cards, and the masculine got the judgment card too, and they're very different because that judgment card has some people on a boat. This one has, these are like death lilies. To me, for some reason it's reminding me of death. There are some deep storm clouds, so there's some judgment going on in the feminine's life. That's the judgment on high. That with the High Priestess overall energy and the Judgment card coming, that the priestess, this Divine Feminine is looking at her life in review, trusting the spirit. She's gone inside, she's trusting the spirit, and she's allowing the spirit to handle whatever it is in her life that needs to. I'm getting that this is about the twin flame journey, but this is the external circumstances, and I'm getting that this could be about something in the Divine Feminine's life that has been injustice, that she has been wronged in some sort, and there's judgment coming, and the judgment is coming from on high, because there's some dark storm clouds that there are above, you know, and there's death. These are death lilies, like canna lilies. I don't know. They look like death to me. They might not be. If you know something different, you tell me. But that's the first card for the Divine Feminine. Second card was the Ten of Wands. So this Judgment and the Ten of Wands, there's heavy burdens that this feminine is carrying. Okay, the horse. Look at the horse. The horse is even looking, you know, sad. But the good thing about this 10 and the good thing about this Judgment is that the circumstances are going to be handled by the divine, and this 10 is getting ready to flip. It's the end of a cycle. So these heavy burdens that she's been carrying, it's coming to an end. And it looks like it might be a fiery end too. There's that red sky is kind of passion, a lot of passion going on there. Next card was the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is letting go. I do believe that the Four of Pentacles can mean letting go, but or it also could mean hanging on. In the way she's gripping those pentacles, there's something that this Divine Feminine is holding on to. This is about her journey. There may be. I am really thinking that this particular feminine is holding on tight to the energy of her masculine. Okay, this chick is holding on feet and everything. Look at her, she's holding on with her feet and everything else. So this Divine Feminine is holding on, and look at those apples. Are those apples? Yeah, those are apples that are in that tree. And look at all those crystals around at the ground. Those are crystals and stones all around here, and she's just hanging on tight to those pinnacles. But there's energy, there is life around her that looks inanimate, but there is life, and there's life in the tree, and she's holding on so hard to those pinnacles where she has the fruit of life above her, and she has energy accessible to her to do manifestations instead of holding on so tight to something. So this feminine here is really holding on tight to something in her world. It could be her money. It could be something to do with her masculine, the energy that her masculine is bringing, but she has an overall knowing, but there's something that she's still holding on to, which is actually giving her, that's the burden. She lets go of it, that burden's going to turn around. And there is the Seven of Cups, okay? The Seven of Cups can mean, I guess, fantasy. This is kind of fantasy, like a fantasy kind of card, because there is, I don't even know what kind of dragon that is, but dragon, are those her? She's riding on a dragon. This may be a same-sex couple when I'm looking at the rainbow here that's coming out of one of the cups. But the cups are options, and this Divine Feminine is holding on, but why is she holding on so hard when she has options? She has options that, you know, the every recess of her mind, all the thoughts that she could create, all the fantasy type thoughts that she could create in her mind are there for her. Okay, if she would let go, okay, whatever she's holding on to. All right, and so let's see if we can get a clarifier. I want to use the kippers for the clarifiers for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. So let's get let's see what she's holding on to. Okay, I want to get a clarifier for. Ooh, everything is just falling out like crazy. And let me see, Spirit. I did say the Four of Pentacles, but I want to clarify Judgment first. What is the Judgment that? Ooh, this flew right up in my chest. Okay, Great Fortune. All right, so this Divine Feminine, in her external circumstances, she's getting judgment. This is about her, and this Great Fortune is monetary, and it's also spiritual, okay? And then with So there is judgment, but it's not judgment is karma, but karma is good karma. Karma is bad karma. I don't get the feeling that this is negative karma. This is the great fortune. This is a great fortune. This is wealth. This is an abundance of, so the divine feminine, she is under karmic review from the divine, and because this particular feminine is who she is, there's great fortune coming to her. So that's good. That judgment that's coming on her. But what is she holding on that's got this Ten of Wands? What's this Ten of Wands that's causing her this burden? She is definitely in her High Priestess energy. She's intuitive. You know, she's transforming. There are butterflies on that card, and those butterflies are swirling around her. She has her staff. This that High Priestess energy. Ooh, oh my goodness, cards. Too many cards fell. That's too many cards right there. Yeah, so what's going on with our girl, our divine feminine there? Ooh, I'm about to mess up everything. Are y'all okay? Can y'all? Yeah, y'all okay. Ooh, it's 11:11. All right now. Okay. That was 11:11 on the counter. And try to get this done in the 11th hour of the morning, because I like to, that 11:11, that's one of my numbers. So this 10 of Wands with our divine feminine spirit, please give us a card to explain, clarify. For these little cards, little cards, come on out. Tell us what that Ten of Wands is about. Oh. Okay. Nothing wants to come out. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Marriage. Okay. So there's a heavy burden. There's a 3 here. It might be a 3-party situation. There may be, it's a heavy burden. If this divine feminine is possibly married, that this is a burden for her to carry. You know, the great fortune, or her masculine is married or in a committed relationship. And this is a burden. That's about to change, though. This is about to end. The 4 of Pentacles, please. The 4 of Pentacles, is she holding on to... I'm getting the feeling that this feminine may perhaps be holding on to the past, holding on to not letting go, being afraid, because she does know that there are so many options ahead of her, and it's being a little bit afraid. Okay, being a little bit afraid to move forward. Of community. Okay, so she may be holding on to, there's community, there's a family here. So not letting go, and this is the number 12, not letting go. If you look at this card really closely, I don't know if you can see it or if it'll, but in the back there are people that have they're different looks. There's a person back there that is awfully just like totally pissed. The other one is kind of happy. The community. So she's holding on perhaps to the marriage of what people will say in the community. If there is a family and she is in a third-party situation, what the community will think about her being involved, people's attitudes. Perhaps the divine masculine is concerned about what people will say as well, and therefore this is causing her to hold on and not let go because she's afraid of what will come. You know, there's fear there that the marriage, whoever the marriage is, I'm gonna have to find out who that marriage is, but I'll be here forever. Let's move on with the 7 of Cups right quick. Let's get a card for the 7 of Cups, please. Let's get a card for the Seven of Cups. What's that Seven of Cups about? What's that Seven of Cups about? Letting go of that heavy burden. The heavy burden of marriage. It's the burden of marriage, which the community, you know. Let's see what we got. Distant horizons. This comes out all the freaking time, okay? Distant horizons. So there are, if she lets go and doesn't particularly care, so I'm getting a little bit of a story here, that there is judgment been called on. It's positive judgment because this divine feminine has done her work. She's in her high priestess energy. It's been a heavy burden in a relationship with 3 people, and there was a marriage or some type of situation holding on to that energy is causing, she's holding on to this energy, this burden. She has to let this go, release that. What the community's going to think of her in the distant horizons, it's not going to even particularly matter, because this divine feminine is in her high priestess energy, the judgment. She has great fortune, and her life in the distant future, she's preparing herself. She has so many different options with the Seven of Cups. She has different options. Some of them are like a fantasy, but I'm just seeing that there are different options for her and her masculine. But this divine feminine is not as concerned about her masculine as she is concerned about the Seven of Cups. He's going to be part of it, but this particular femme, she's holding on to that because they are diagonally from each other. So she is holding on to this energy. With this marriage, there is a couple. There is either she's married or it could be vice versa. But there's an energy that she's holding on to, that the marriage, and she's concerned that the community, there, it looks all good, but there's someone right there in the back that's not very happy about this situation. She recognizes that there are different options that she has about her, and in the distant horizon, everything, all of this is set up. She can have whatever it is that she's choosing. So in her external circumstances right now, this divine feminine is doing all right, okay? She's doing okay. So let's switch over right now and go to the divine masculine. His overall energy at the bottom of the deck, when after the cut and split and whatnot, was the Six of Wands. So he's headed toward a victory. Look, we got the little victory wreath there. So in his overall energy right now, he's feeling pretty good. He's feeling that he is on his way. Excuse me. Where is that other stone? He's on his way. Here it is. He's on his way to victory. All right. He has the truth. He knows the truth. These 2 towers here, and this card always kind of make me. He knows the truth. He doesn't look too happy about it, but that sword can cut both ways. And there's the sword of truth. He has an inkling. He might not be completely positive, but he knows that there's going, those towers, there's one tower that's already fallen. So he's standing on his truth and moving forward with it. It is there. It is in his mind. He does know it. And actually, this has caused him, the Emperor, recognizing, he's looking at the Emperor, and the Emperor's looking at him. So at one point, he was very immature, and, even though he had an understanding, he had a thought process that this was what was going on, this was the truth. He didn't really know it. But now, he's looking at the Emperor, and the Emperor's looking at him. He's in his Emperor energy. He's working definitely toward his Emperor's energy, because, like I said, these 2 have been out of, there's been no contact between these 2, and this little guy, immature as he was, has the truth, knowing the truth, that he's an Emperor, and the Emperor is looking back at him like, They're looking each other eye to eye. I'm looking at the eyes of the boy who I was. Now I am an emperor, and I understand this, okay? But there's some judgment. The emperor, and that's the divine masculine gets judgment too. There's judgment being called on from high, and there's a family here. So, and there is, this is fire. This is bringing fire. This is bringing down like holy fire judgment, okay? That's emperor, the emperor, he's not looking at the judgment. He's looking away from it because it hurts. It hurts because there's a family there. And this judgment has come on him. And, you know, I heard someone say that like walking down the street and you just get shoved in the back and you end up going in whatever direction that you're shoved in. Well, there has been, with this particular couple, there's been so many signs and synchronicities, and this, you know, we was having the truth, but we were remaining in our, you know, like young boy or immature energy, or maybe just younger, but seeing the truth that you are an emperor and knowing now that you are, and you're looking at, my goodness, what was I doing when I had all this at one time? Like right now, this is what he's thinking. 21 just passed. And right now he's thinking, you know, this is who I am and this is who I was. But this has caused judgment because it took him a minute to get to his emperor energy. It took him, you know, the page is a very young, immature, either young or immature or maybe both. And he's looking into the eyes of a young boy who he used to be. This has caused judgment because this divine masculine, this particular divine masculine has a family. He has a family, he has a job, something that has caused the separation between him and the feminine, but judgment from on high for both of them. Her judgment comes in as great fortune, good karma. Her judgment card, you know, doesn't look as, it doesn't look so happy as this, but you see the fire, and this judgment is going to bring happiness. All that yellow is going to bring happiness. It's from on high, okay? And then the next card is the Fool. Okay, once the judgment comes, this divine masculine is ready to make a new start. Either he's had judgment and he's ready to start on the new beginning. There's hope there. That flower is a flower of hope, and he doesn't even particularly care what he takes with him. This divine masculine may have been concerned about monetary things or materialistic kind of things, money and things, money, what is it, cars, hoes, and I don't know what it is, money, cars, and hoes. But now he has a clear understanding of hope, okay, and he really doesn't need anything because there's happiness. He's definitely, these are his thoughts this week and what's going on in his energy. So let's get some Kipper juicy cards get a little clarifiers going on, okay? Let's see some clarifiers. Ooh, not that many at one time. Let's clarify the Page of Swords, please. Wealthy man, okay? That's the 4, and that's a 4 too. The wealthy man, okay? That in his mind, this is where he was headed. This is where he knows he could be. These were the thoughts that all he was concerned about was being a wealthy man. You know, that regardless, by any means necessary, as long as he was wielding that sword, he wanted to be wealthy, okay? He wanted to be wealthy. That was his concern. And in time, see that time? He might be. But this was his concern. That's where he was headed. That's what he wanted. Even this page is not dressed as fine as a king or an emperor, but this is not broke, okay? That's not broke. Those are clothes of royalty. So he's definitely in the high court and not in no broke court. But let's get a card for the Emperor, please. Let's get a card for the Emperor. Give me a card for the Emperor, please. Card for the Emperor. Card for the Emperor. Can I have a card, please, Spirit? Just one card for the Emperor, please. One card, please. Official person. Okay, the Emperor. The Emperor is an official person. So it's official. Whatever is going on with this divine masculine, his external circumstances, he's standing in his ultimate strength and power. Now, the Emperor can be kind of harsh. I'm going to get one more card for this official person. The Emperor, you know, he's not playing. The bottom of the deck was the Lovers. One more card on the official person, please. One more card. Divine Masculine, he wants to be the official. He knows. This Divine Masculine knows who he is. Oh, man, this card popped out. Main, okay. It's official. He's the main man. This Emperor knows who he is. Okay? He knows it's official. He knows officially that there's a wealthy man, official person, and the main man, and the Emperor all together. He is everything, and he recognizes that. He's leaving harsh times, headed toward victory, okay? And that's how he knows he's victorious. He recognizes, and he recognizes the judgment. I mean, he recognizes that he's an emperor. An emperor is also the divine masculine. The divine masculine is also the main male. So this particular knows the truth, knows that he's created karma that's going to be fiery, but he's ready to take that. He's ready to take that leap of faith. He's ready, and he's looking all the way across at that divine feminine over there. The Fool is. Give me a card for the Judgment. What's the Judgment? What's the Judgment, please? What's the Judgment for the divine masculine? What's the Judgment? Give me a card for the Judgment. Okay. Courtship. All right. Here's a 4. Okay. There's judgment coming on because this divine masculine having and I already mentioned that it was a 3-party with the marriage over here and there's a marriage over there, courting over here. There's a 3-party situation between this divine masculine and this divine feminine that has created judgment. I do believe that with the high priestess being there, that this high priestess and all these butterflies transforming or flying around the high priestess's head, there has been a transformation. The divine feminine has stood before, has made judgment, has created judgment, karmic judgment, but this divine feminine has amassed, is amassing, will amass great fortune because of her good karma, okay? Her good karma. I'm feeling that the burden of the marriage, this divine feminine was married. She's walked away from her marriage, but she may possibly still be holding on in some sort to that energy because look how tight she's holding it. All right? And the community possibly would not look at that in a favorable light. Okay? So she's got her options and she's had her karmic review. Because this marriage, I don't get the feeling that this marriage was such a positive marriage, but even though there is a community, but in the distant horizon, she knows what she's wanted and that she's had her judgment. Her judgment has come forth and she will be okay. In the distant horizon, there's going to be her masculine. Okay. This is a couple in separation. Oops. I don't know if I'm not going to take that card, please, Spirit. I didn't even ask. Clarify the Fool, please. Clarify the Fool for the divine masculine. Just clarify the Fool, please. The Fool, not the Pool. Clarify the Fool. Clarify the Fool, please. Clarify the Fool. Clarify the Fool. Yeah. These, I get the feeling that this couple has been on their journey for some time. There's been a lot to transpire that's happened between this couple. We just popped out over here. What do we have? The thief. Yeah, his time. He's ready to move ahead because time has been stolen from him. Remember this wealthy man over here with the time? My music just stopped just like that. But oh my goodness. There is seriously something going on with my television. I'm sorry, guys. I really am sorry. Let me stop this and I'll go fix that and I'll be right back.